12 things you didn't know about Bronny James, LeBron James Jr. They say that the apple does not fall far from the tree, and if that's true, LeBron James Jr. is going to blossom into a young star and eventually dominate the NBA just like his father. He is currently only 15 years old, yet has the eyes of the entire nation on him. Up to this point, James has handled the extreme media attention very well, and although he had a slow start in his freshman season at Sierra Canyon, James has the potential to have a great career in the NBA. Here are 12 things that you might not know about LeBron's eldest son. He was dunking since he was 13 years old. The first thing you might not know about Bronny James is that he has been dunking since he was 13 years old and in middle school. This is an incredible feat and not something that we typically see from anyone at that age. To add to this, James Jr. was only around 6 foot even, if not shorter at the time he threw down his first dunk in a pregame shoot-around. When your father is one of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen, it is expected that some of those athletic feats will be passed on to their kids. However, dunking at 13 years old no matter who is in your family tree is something that is truly incredible. Now, Bronny dunks with ease, both in-game and in practices and shoot-arounds, at only 15 years old and standing at 6 foot 2 inches. He is on one of the top high school basketball teams in the nation. One of the decisions that led LeBron James to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers was the schooling of his children. Many thought that this factor would lead him to stay in Cleveland and have his children attend his childhood high school where the legend of LeBron James truly began. However, signs pointed to him signing with the Lakers when it was discovered that Bronny would be enrolling at Sierra Canyon. This is one of the most prestigious high schools in America, and previous attendees are Kylie Jenner, Kendall Jenner, Willow Smith, Baron Davis, Sharif O'Neal, and Marvin Bagley III. Their basketball program this season was one of the best in the country. They finished ranked second in the country and first in the state of California. Their record was 30-4 overall and 6-0 in league play. With the addition of James Jr., the team became a national story. As a result of this, some of their games were nationally televised and landed on ESPN. This is a very bright spotlight to put on high school-age kids. However, the players of Sierra Canyon handled it incredibly well and went on to have an amazing season. This is a result that is likely to be replicated for the next 2 years, with James Jr. only being a sophomore next year, and the rest of the roster looking stacked with talent as well. He is teammates with Dwayne Wade's son, Zaire Wade. When LeBron James and Dwayne Wade teamed up together on the Miami Heat in the 2010 NBA free agency, the whole league was sent into a frenzy, and we saw what may have been one of, if not the best dynamic duos in league history, speaking from a chemistry standpoint and looking at how well their games flowed and meshed together. The saying that history repeats itself held true for the next generation of the James and Wade family. In the same summer, Bronny and Dwayne Wade's son, Zaire Wade, joined Sierra Canyon to play together. While there were not too many opportunities to see Zaire and Bronny on the court at the same time, as James only being a freshman on one of the best teams in the country played a somewhat limited role, we saw the chemistry between James and Wade when they were both on the court together. It is likely that with James being a year older and Wade being in his senior season, we will see the two second-generation stars play together and create highlights on the level of their fathers just 6 years prior. His godfather is Chris Paul. LeBron James is not the only soon-to-be Hall of Famer that is part of Bronny's family. Bronny's godfather is Chris Paul, who is one of the best pure point guards of all time, and someone that Bronny can learn a lot from. Paul played with LeBron in the 2003 McDonald's All-American game, multiple Olympic teams, and countless All-Star games. He is also a member of the Banana Boat Squad, which is the group of LeBron and his closest friends that take a yearly vacation. The group consists of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony. It is interesting to see how involved the group stays in the lives of the next generation, as Wade's child plays with LeBron's child, and Paul is Bronny's godfather. Bronny put on his best Chris Paul impersonation when the All-Star point guard went to watch him play at the John Lucas All-Star Weekend in 2018. In this weekend, James put on a passing clinic and left Paul extremely impressed and overall speechless with the level of play that James put on as a middle schooler. It is rumored that he has received an offer from Duke and has officially received an offer from Kentucky. Despite his young age, James Jr. has already received attention from some of the best and most prestigious programs in the entire NCAA. A couple years back, it was rumored that he received offers from a number of schools. His father did not like that at all. He was quoted as saying that recruiting and going after players that young should be a violation and a form of tampering against those schools. It was rumored that Duke and Kentucky were the schools that offered a very young Bronny James scholarships. However, it is only officially known that he currently has an offer from Kentucky. Former Ohio State head coach Thad Matta jokingly said in an interview that he was falling behind and would have to give Bronny a scholarship offer as soon as possible. These high-level schools would not offer a coveted scholarship to a player just because of who his dad was. Receiving these offers at such a young age speaks to the talent and potential that Bronny possesses. LeBron said Bronny Bronny is better than he was at his age. After a particularly impressive showing at a tournament in 2017, LeBron told the press that the 12-year-old was a much better player than he was at that age. He complimented his son's handles and three-point shot, saying that those areas of his game were far ahead of James's when he was 12. He compared Bronny's game to that of LeBron's then Cleveland Cavaliers teammate Kyrie Irving. Being compared to a perennial all-star and someone who hit one of the most important shots in NBA history is quite the compliment for a 12-year-old. Later on, James was quoted in saying that he was the third best shooter in his house, behind both of his sons, Bronny and Bryce. Lastly, LeBron, while talking about Bronny, said that he is also a better playmaker than James was at his age. With James being one of the greatest playmakers of all time, if his son takes the same trajectory as his dad, we may be seeing the greatest passer in the league when he hits his prime. He did not want to wear number 23, so he isn't known as LeBron's kid. Early on in his basketball career, Bronny decided that he did not want to be number 23. This was a shock at the time, because it was assumed by many that as a result of his father being one of the most famous players in any sport to don the number 23, that he would follow in his father's footsteps. However, even at such a young age, Bronny decided that he wanted to pave his own way and make his own legacy. He did not want to be known as simply LeBron's kid. Bronny decided instead to wear the number 0, for a reason that we will get into later. He only wore number 23 during his 8th grade season. However, with Sierra Canyon, he is back to wearing number 0. Interestingly, Bronny's brother Bryce also chooses not to wear the number 23. He chose to wear the number 30 because his favorite player in the league was Stephen Curry, who was one of his father's biggest rivals for 4 straight years. He is a TikTok social media star. Bronny is one of the young basketball stars who is becoming one of the most represented generations of basketball players on social media. Ever since the moment that LeBron allowed his son on social media, he's become a star online. Shortly after he joined social media, however, he did have a small mishap that quickly turned into a viral moment. It is assumed that James accidentally posted this video, or it was not meant to go public. However, in the video, Bronny was quoted as saying, "Listen up, bleep, I'm gonna make a PSA, just because she has a pretty face does not mean she has a pretty heart. These bleep don't give a bleep about a bleep. They want to hurt a bleep heart before they give you your heart. They want to see your bleep break apart. Bleep these bleep." However, after this mishap, it has been smooth sailing for Bronny on social media. He is racking up huge follower counts on all forms of social media he has, and many of his TikToks have gone viral. On top of this, he has been shouted out by his dad, other athletes, and countless other celebrities. He wears number 0 in honor of Russell Westbrook. Tying into Bronny not wearing number 23, there is a special reason that he wears number 0. That reason is his favorite player in the NBA is Russell Westbrook. It makes sense as to why James is drawn in by Westbrook's style of play. Both are point guards, and Westbrook's explosive and high-flying way of playing the game is one of the most interesting and entertaining to watch in the entire league. On top of this, Westbrook is a player that can do it all. He has the chance to average a triple-double for the 3rd straight season this year. He is a great playmaker as well as a rebounder. It is possible that Bronny could be attempting to mold his game into Westbrook's once he grows more and puts on a bit more muscle. Once that happens, with the athletic ability he is already showing, it is very possible that Bronny could take Westbrook's style of play and possibly do it even better than Westbrook. He is already a champion. The next thing that you might not know about Bronny is that he is already a champion. When he was only 9 years old and in the 4th grade, James played AAU for the Miami City Ballers. He led them to success in a tournament that Kentucky head coach John Calipari went to watch James compete in. Later that year, he took the Gulf Coast Blue Chips to win the 4th grade championship at the Heights Sports Summer Camp. Later on in 8th grade, James was a part of the North Coast Blue Chips, where he won the John Lucas Weekend Tournament in the NY to LA Swish and Dish Tournament in Wisconsin. James has seen great success against a high level of competition in the AAU circuit. He was not allowed to play football or hockey. Bronny, just like his father, could have been one of the best high school multi-sport athletes we have ever seen. However, LeBron did not allow his children to play high-contact sports like football or hockey as they were growing up. This could be because of the injury that LeBron suffered in high school when he was playing football. It would be a whole different world in the NBA if the injury would have been more serious, and we would never seen LeBron James play a single second of professional basketball. There is a chance that LeBron is trying to keep his children away from having a chance of a serious injury, as Bronny is looking to have a very promising career in basketball waiting for him. His career high in points in high school is 17 points. Bronny, as previously mentioned, has not had much of a chance to play a large amount of minutes, as a result of them being a freshman on one of the best basketball teams in the country. Because of this, his career high for a high school game is only 17 points, which is by no means not bad at all for a high school game, especially for a freshman playing against the best competition available. However, with Bronny being a multifaceted player, he can contribute to the game in more ways than just scoring. He is a great playmaking guard, who just like his father, has a way of making his teammates better. Final thoughts. In conclusion, there is still a lot that is unknown about the kid that is currently the heir to the throne in the NBA, and one day could take his father's place as the king in the NBA. For the time being, however, it will be a treat to see Bronny continue to grow and develop as a player, and potentially become the next big star. Stay tuned for more basketball content like this.